Tagging lambs is one of the things that I've sort of been procrastinating with all of these baby lambs popping out everywhere. And including Poppy's set of twins, we are currently up to 6 sets of twins, and I have only tagged a couple of them. So one thing with sheep is that you really need to keep track of and keep good records when it comes to births and genetics so that you can make sound management decisions. So today's project, and I'm exhausted. I hardly got any sleep last night because Red had her calf. Then the calf ended up getting chilled, so I had to carry it up to the house, and then I was worried and I was monitoring it anyway. So I'm a little exhausted right now. I don't have much motivation to do anything, but tagging is definitely necessary because judging by the bags on some of these ewes, we're bound to get more lambs tonight or tomorrow. Unlike some breeds of sheep, our Katahdins are fairly uniquely marked, but unfortunately, once they get a little bit older, we don't always know whose is whose, which is also why this tagging process is important. These will probably be pretty unique. I don't know if we will get any other lambs that look like these two. I love that piebald coloring. The bedded pack right now is really at a strange height when I'm looking for a board to prop my phone up on. So we will have to clean this over spring break, which is when the babies were supposed to be born. I keep my lamb records in my phone, so this may prove to be a little bit more complicated because I will need to pause my video to record the tags. However, one thing I normally do also while I'm tagging the lambs is trimming the ewe's hooves. So we don't standard deworm when lambs are born, but we do trim their hooves. These mama sheep get their hooves trimmed 1 time per year normally, unless there is an underlying issue, and that time we trim them is when they lamb right now. I was asked by one of my students to do a demonstration video on tagging. I will be doing an educational activity in my classroom with the 3 bottle lambs that I am now toting to school every day. However, I will also demonstrate this for anyone that may not know how to do this or understand why we do this. So the first lambs that I'm going to tag are the black and white ones because I try to keep it consecutive when it comes to these numbers. We do have special tags that we get from Premier One. They have our farm name on them, and they also have a premise ID on them. These are called Scrapie ID tags. So New York State, APHIS, whatever, I can't even remember. We got our premise ID number 8 years ago, and once it's assigned to you, that is your premise ID for the entirety of the time that you have your flock. It is non-transferable, so I cannot give my tags to somebody else. It is unique to my property and my flock. This is a universal tagger. It does have the ability to utilize several different types of tags. We have these custom tags from Premier One. We are tagging the lambs in their left ear this year. I rotate every other year. Not that it ever really makes a difference because it doesn't, but it just helps give me a little bit of peace of mind. So the first lambs we'll be starting with are the little black and white ones, so I will go grab one of them at a time. As I am tagging them, I always verify that they are in fact the correct gender. This little white one is going to be 671. I guess I gotta show you this. When I go to tag them, I tag them in between the ribs of their ears, so there's little cartilage ribs in their ears, and I try to get it pretty close to their head. It's got less of a chance of ripping out by doing it that way, and it is no different than piercing an ear. And as you can see, I've done that a fair few times. I pretty much do everything by myself with the exception of boostering vaccines, and it is a little bit more challenging to tag a lamb sitting down so that you can see this. Hold still, honey. Rah. No! You may not. Normally I hold him in between my legs. Honey! You're defeating this purpose here. No. No. There you go. Perfect. And my ewe lambs get white tags my ram lambs get green tags. Look at you, little one. Good girl. Right here. Hey, you're gonna be at school next week or whenever we decide to do that. So this is the other twin. This is how I normally hold them between my knees like this, and there we go. Good little girl. Good little girl. Yeah. You did so good. Thanks, sweetheart.